Welcome to this Real Talk Pod. Demonic Possessions. Joining in is your host, Saint G. We got a lot today. We have a good one. It's about 11:30 at night, and I just watched Paranormal Activity, so I was like, hey, let's get it on with some demons. And I looked up and researched the interview. I got clips of the Amityville Horror priest, and he had never been seen. I never heard before, and that's kind of where a demonic possession took over. The DeFeo family, and whoa, what the hell? What the? Sheesh. Oh, I don't know what the hell that was, but damn, that came from someone's sound. And we also got Indiana house right now. Different portals. They say demons can go through different portals, and this is the house of hell. And you can hear this interview right now, and just hearing this lady's voice. She has sold the house, someone had bought it, and they're calling this the Indiana House of Horror.
It's your first look inside the house known as the Portal to Hell, a place where demons supposedly wrought havoc with a helpless family in horror straight out of The Exorcist.
The power of Christ compels you!
This man just bought the notorious house in Gary, Indiana for the bargain basement price of $35,000.
What compelled you to buy this house?
I have a passion for investigating claims of paranormal.
Zach Bagans is the host of the Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures. We spoke inside the front porch, the precise spot where a terrorized mom claims that horseflies mysteriously swarmed in the dead of winter, as they did in the Amityville Horror. Then there was that mysterious figure that appeared in the window, and the house was supposed to be empty. This is the other side of that window.
There are reports that there was a residue that would come down the blinds.
It was horrible.
This is the woman who lived in the House of Horrors with her 3 children before Zach Bagans bought it. LaToya Ammons fought back tears when she told us how they fled in terror after her daughter was raised right off her bed. She says the demons sounded like this.
We've waited 5 months. It sounded like something dead.
She says she anointed the rooms with holy oil and read aloud from the Bible, but the nightmare went on and listened to a sound that cannot be explained by police who looked into the mysterious goings-on. While 2 cops are talking in the basement, someone can be heard saying, hey. Embrace yourself for what LaToya says happened to her son when she and her mom took him to the hospital. It's right out of the movie Poltergeist.
He walked up the wall and did the backwards flip.
How did everybody in the hospital react?
Okay, whoa, wait. Did you hear that? No, that is crazy. Some things, I don't know, they never showed this on the news or something, or they just don't want people to know. This world is more crazier than you think it is, I'll tell you that right now. There's more to this world than that. Just like different portals. I mean, they were showing it back in the days in the He-Man cartoons. Now, I did some little research before the show, so different classifications of humans. A man named Michael Celis from the 11th century prepared a classification of demons, and he had divided them into empty, real, aerial, subterranean, luciferios, aqueous, terrene, which is basically terrestrial. And I was thinking, like, well, demons, what are they? Are they bad thoughts? Are they actual demons that go in people's mind and take over? Or is it just a bad thought and that person, just the way we're created, happens to carry that bad thought on in a way or something? I mean, because there are angels, do they have, they're supposed to have good thoughts, but there was angels, so-called in the Bible, that slept with women, and that's how giants were created. So there's good and bad angels. So is there good and bad demons? I mean, we never know. The type of demonic possessions are the spectra. Those are the trouble houses. Those are the demons that trouble houses. Oppression, they trouble humans during the day. That's like when you're having a bad day and you just keep on having a bad day and you're yelling at people having attitudes, or it just keeps getting worse and worse and everything's going wrong. I have a lot of those days a lot. And, oh man. So now I know what that is. They have possession, which is they enter inwardly, and in humans, basically the possession inside your soul or your third eye take over your body. They have fairies, describe spirits that prophecy and transport, so that's what they call fairies. It's man, I kind of classification them as different demons that I see later on, like sexual demons, behavioral demons, temptation, the drug demons that take over when people do drugs. The laughing demon, which is the one kind of like the one that laughs at you. Kind of like when you make mistakes or something, you get mad. It's like they get a kick off it. I was watching a show one time. They were saying that demons would get a kick off harassing people and just watching them fall off and have bad days. I was like, oh, you son of a bitches, you. And the domain of a demon is reflected on whatever authority they hold in their interaction with human mankind. So that's kind of like, well, they're just it's like they're classified on what they can do to humans. So I wonder if they're rewarded on what they do to humans. Let's go to this break right now because we are coming up on 8 minutes.
It's only a movie.
It's not funny.
You were scared, weren't you?
I wasn't that scared.
You were scared.
And now back to John with the weather.
Yes, Andy. Tonight a big storm. Storm this! Get the soccer offer from Pizza Hut and Pepsi. With every 2 medium pan Super Supreme, you get a real soccer ball and 4 cans of Pepsi for free. Yes, a real soccer ball and 4 cans of Pepsi for free. Yes, Pepsi and soccer ball. Don't miss the Pizza Hut and Pepsi soccer offer. With every 2 medium pan Super Supreme, you get a real soccer ball and 4 cans of Pepsi for free. What about the weather, Andy? Don't resist and call 19,000 now.
We're back. Got about 7 minutes left. Oh, I love how this app just counts down. It's working out pretty good. By the way, I have a friend that's doing a show. You guys know Shibby McCoy from my YouTube page. We make YouTube videos, and now we're going to be doing podcasts. So go ahead and clap into his show. He has a couple shows coming on. So let's get to this interview right now with this whole Amityville Horror. You know, the movie Amityville Horror, if you guys ain't seen it, go and watch all those episodes. They used to scare the crap out of me. It was about a haunted house that took over in Long Island, New York. And a lot of people are saying, well, houses aren't haunted, but it's people. So if you can hop back and forth from that, or different objects that can be brought in the house can be possessed. I'll get to more ghost stories. This Halloween, we're going to have a Halloween special where I talk about the ghosts that I dealt with, and Shibby is a witness to that. Downtown Sacramento, in Carmichael by Sacramento, and in Seaside, California. But we'll get to that. But let's go ahead and get to this interview, because this dude, something possessed it to fail, and he killed his whole family. And he did interviews about it, and then another family moved in, and they started going through things. Let's see what this priest had to say.
As is common with many Catholic families, Mrs. Lutz asked her parish priest to stop by and bless the house. This blessing began in the sewing room and seemed to set off a chain reaction which would jeopardize the lives of everyone involved. Because of criticism later leveled by other church officials, the priest has never before talked to anyone in the media. In Search Of was able to locate him, and he agreed to tell us his story, but only if he could remain anonymous.
I was blessing the sewing room. It was cold. It was really cold in there. And I thought, gee, this is peculiar. Because it was a lovely day out. And it was winter, yes, but it didn't account for that kind of coldness. By also sprinkling holy water. And I heard a rather deep voice behind me saying, "Get out." It seemed so directed toward me that I was really quite startled. I felt a slap at one point on the face. I felt somebody slap me, and there was nobody there.
Oh, shut up. You need a slap so you can wake up. No. Shoot, I would have to stay away from demonic possessed houses. I'll tell you that right now. Now, oh my gosh. What the hell is that? Sound like a hungry demon, huh? Okay. You know I'm doing a podcast, right? And you're interrupting. Okay, I'll just shut up. Now, even in music and in movies, I've seen a little people get possessed over that. And it's like, you guys ever seen the movie Colors? It was about gangs and all that. Mi Vida Loca. Every time I used to go to the movies or watch it with people at my school or at the Job Corps, it's like everyone would get up and then start going around like a possessed and start acting hard or going around throwing up signs, or it would just like take over them. It's like some movies, would actually take people over to go and join gangs and shoot people up. It's like they're possessed and they're in that state of mind where they can't control it. Even in music a lot of Brother Lynch music. Let's see what else. A lot of hardcore gangbang music will get people in the mood to go gangbang. I didn't see this person listen to Brother Lynch music. He was younger though, but he's like, all of a sudden he starts shaking his head and like, yeah. He's like, I got that sickness in me. And he's sitting there with his eyes. It was like, man, it's kind of like for a minute, like some people can see that and you can control him. Like if someone wanted him to kill someone probably or choke someone out or hurt someone, he could have basically had a 80 to 90% chance of doing it then just by getting pumped up. So sometimes it's like another type of demonic possession would be like something that you can't control, like something that can just control you in the heat of a moment. It pumps you up and you just follow that thought. And then, man, some people just go out and make mistakes and wake up the next day and they're in jail locked up. They don't even know what happened. It's like they really can't explain it. That's why a lot of bad people in this world, they do have, they could be possessed. It just has something to do with their brain. And you have to, people have to understand it, but you can't, because you can't really have them in the public if they're controlled like that. So there might need to be like another facility to help people like that out and keep it from the news and everything. Just, keep it kind of secretly. But there is a lot of demonic possessions going on in this world. And people need to understand that before they start just thinking, some people are just evil, because we're all born babies. And I'm just like, how can someone just start out just being from an innocent baby in a little childhood and grow up and this and that? Even though TV, music, and all that influences, or you see stuff on TV, but it's really that possession that takes over you in the heat of the moment that's uncontrollable. Well, here's a doctor right now, and he has an interview to better help you guys understand demonic possessions.
There was this resurgence of interest in the means of exorcism. I think it came also when the rites were reformed under the papacy of Pope John Paul II. And the rite of exorcism. The rite of exorcism was the last liturgical rite that underwent the reform after the Second Vatican Council.
But is this reemergence of this ministry actually triggered by a resurgence or upsurge in cases of
I don't think so. I really think that it is just that the church has rediscovered one precious ministry that it has sort of laid aside for a long time.
Now let's talk about the Diocese of Cubao, for example.
Well, I got to start it off there. 15 minutes runs fast. We will get longer podcasts later. Thank you for joining this podcast for demonic possessions. We will be doing another podcast pretty soon. Before you know it, got to do some research, get things together. Hopefully we'll have Shibby or a phone caller on the line. But thanks for tuning in. Keep this going. Keep it going. The Real Talk Pod.